What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. So today we're going to be talking about the Tfue versus Bank situation that happened, because it's just pretty crazy. So if for those of you who don't know, Tfue is a gamer. Is like a really big gamer. He's one of the biggest gamers on Twitch. Apparently he's like bigger than Ninja right now, and he's in this company called Tfue, which is like a big gaming company, and one of the people who run it is FaZe Banks, a very big YouTuber who's pretty cool. I like him. But anyway, so Tfue is apparently suing FaZe Clan because claims that they're taking 80% of his revenue and keeping it. And when I heard this, I was like, shit, that's a lot of money to take, FaZe Clan. But anyway, so he claims that they're taking 80% of his revenue and that they're forcing him to like drink and party and all other shit. Now that claim, that last claim about the whole partying and drinking shit, when I first heard that, I was like, what? Like, I didn't believe that shit, because Tfue has videos of him just like jumping off of shit, drinking before he even got into FaZe Clan. So it's like, what are you doing? Why are you trying to sue Banks, FaZe Clan, not Banks, FaZe Clan, if there's proof out there that you were drinking? Fuck, like, it's just like another thing to get people on his side instead of FaZe Clan, but whatever. Anyway, Banks uploaded a video titled Tfue, and in this video he goes over is the claim about the 80%. Now in the video he says that they've only taken about 60,000 from him, and that was because it was a brand deal that they made, and the company brought the brand deal to Tfue, and Banks said that and it makes sense, they only took 20%. They let Turner keep the 80%. And Banks in the video said that 60% of the 60,000 that they took is only equivalent to about 0.1% of his shit, of his money, and that was only like once or twice. Yeah, it was once or twice. So all I gotta say is, if that's like only like 0.1% of his money, then that Tfue's making a fuck ton of money. Like, I kind of already knew this, but this cat's making like a fuck ton of money, bro. Just like a shit ton. They didn't take Tfue. They don't take any Twitch revenue or any YouTube revenue or anything like that. Any of Tfue's regular revenue. They just said they took his 20% out of the brand deal that they themselves gave to him, which makes sense in my opinion, because if you're a company and you're bringing the brand deal to the person, I mean, you should be able to take some portion, but most, I guess, he can't. And I think that's fair. And the rest of the video is just Banks. Most of the video, like part 2, is just Banks talking about his feelings for Tfue and all this how the situation made him felt. And it was kind of sad, because you could tell that Banks had like a tight friendship with Tfue. Like, it seemed really close, and this happened. It's kind of fucked up. Anyway, so Tfue did respond. When I wrote the script before, Tfue didn't respond, but Tfue ended up responding with a 1-minute video where he apologizes for telling people that, oh, FaZe Clan's making me drink this, that, and the third, which he should, obviously. It's a stupid ass claim to make. But main part is that he's like, guys, this contract is the worst. It's like terrible. They're making me they're taking all my money. He said at the end of 3 years, he was signed up for a 3-year contract, and he said that at the end of 3 years that that FaZe Clan would take all of his money, like all the earnings. Now, I know that a lot of like esports players, I don't know much about the gaming community, but I do know that a lot of esports players and shit like that do get fucked over by these contracts, and that's fucked up. I don't agree with that. I think that if you're a company, you should treat your people fairly instead of fucking these kids over. Oh, man. Anyway, so it's a really just short video. There's not much to criticize here. He, at the end, he's just basically like, release the fucking contract, release the fucking contract, and then the hashtag spreads, release the contract. So Banks then sends out a series of tweets, and I'll put them up on the screen for you guys to see. Banks also made a tweet that I didn't put up on the screen, but he also made a tweet saying that they offered him $1 million deal per year with 0% splits across the board, and that they tried to help him multiple times with this contract, and all Tfue had to do really was just represent FaZe Clan, just, you know, represent him. So it's also said that they're working with their lawyers to release the contract, and I find that whole video on Tfue as being like, where he's talking about the thing and saying, release the contract, release the fucking contract right now. Yeah, I find that funny because, and this is why I'm kind of on Banks' side with this for now, but in my opinion, he's saying release the contract, release the fucking contract now, so that Banks wouldn't release the contract. Like, Banks would be scared to release the contract, this, that, and the third. But then Banks was like, okay, we're gonna release the contract. And we hear the next day, still no contract, but he said they were going to release it. So Banks is like, oh, we're gonna release the contract. He was like, oh, we're gonna release the contract, and he's talking about, oh, we offered you $1 million and you didn't take it, and this, that, and the third. Now, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know anything about the law. I mean, I know about the law, but I don't know about how, like, specific those contracts work. But if this whole thing with the contract, if it was the contract really that was fucking him over, he could have just went to FaZe or talked to FaZe Clan and been like, oh, hey guys, I don't like my contract. And Banks did say that they tried to help him fix his contract. So it's like, if you weren't happy, why didn't you just go and change and talk to him about the contract then? And as a matter of fact, why didn't you just look at why didn't you, before you signed to FaZe, I understand this is read over the contract. Like, read, even if you had to have a lawyer there, 20 lawyers there, I don't give a fuck. You need to read over the contracts that you sign, because you can't just go and just be like, oh my god, FaZe Clan offered me a deal, and then you guys sign the contract. Okay guys, here you go. Like, no, if this contract was such shit, you should have read it over and made sure of it before you signed it. Like, and I understand people are gonna be like, oh, he was a young kid. I get that. And, you know, I understand it's a bigger opportunity. It's FaZe. If I was a gamer and FaZe offered me an opportunity to be, well, in FaZe Clan, I'd probably be stoked as fuck. I'd be like, holy shit, FaZe Clan? Fucking FaZe Clan? But still, you need to read over stuff. So it's very irresponsible on Tfue's part for not reading over it in the first place. We're here in the next day right now when I'm recording this, and Banks still needs to release the contract. He said he's working with lawyers. He's talking to lawyers and higher ups to get this shit released. So hopefully it gets released. And for right now, my overall thoughts on this is that I'm on Banks' side, but I'm not gonna 110% be like, oh my god, Banks is totally right. Yes, guys, I still stand with it. Like, no. I feel like this whole situation is like a misunderstanding, miscommunication. Like, Tfue should have just been read over his contract, and if he didn't like it, talk to Banks or FaZe Clan, whoever, to fix this shit. Because now the situation looks like shit, because now Tfue is looking like the bad guy, and looks like he's just snaking out his friends, which he kind of is, but he's just snaking out his friends and shit like that, and that shit's not cool. Banks is highly respected in YouTube gaming. You just can't snake like respected people like that, you know? You're not Jake Paul, right? You can't just snake anyone you want to and then expect everyone to just be like, oh my god, okay, you're forgiven. No, you can't do that. So, yeah, there are my thoughts. I'm on Banks' side. for now, and we'll see what's in that contract, because whatever's in that contract, it doesn't really matter what was said, but whatever's in that contract is what really matters. And if Banks is wrong in the situation, I don't feel like it'll destroy FaZe Clan. I feel like in this specific situation, can't speak, it's just a case of people not reading over and like a misunderstanding. And I feel like Banks is gonna try to make new contracts with other people, you know, try to better contracts. Tfue, on the other hand, this will affect him if he's wrong, because if he's wrong, he's gonna get fucked like crazy, because, you know, he looks like a whole snake right now, a whole goddamn snake, and he's going after a big organization. Like, what you doing, bud? Fuck, come on. So that's my thoughts on this whole situation. I find it pretty interesting, and I'm sorry I've been sniffling so much, I'm sick, but yeah, I found the situation interesting, wanted to talk about it. Leave your thoughts down below, and once this contract comes out, if it ever does, then I'll make a follow-up video. We'll see who's right, but for now, I'm on Banks' side until proven guilty. So, peace.